Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear year 9 students. I hope you're doing well. This is teacher Abdi Samad. Inshallah, today's lesson is going to be about revision about your exam past papers or last exam papers from term 3 and other exam papers for key stage 3, other exam past papers for key stage 3. So before we go to the revision for the exam papers, I would like to share with you some information or small information about key stage 3 science scheme of work. So basically, year 9, this was the topics that you're supposed to learn. So if you can see here, you're supposed to learn about inheritance and selection, fit and healthy, plants and photosynthesis, plants for food, reactions of metals and metal compounds, patterns of reactivity, environmental chemistry, using chemistry, energy and electricity, gravity and space, speeding up, pressure and momentum, investigating scientific questions. That was all about what you're supposed to learn. Term one up to term 3. So inshallah, if you're thinking about that you missed some of these topics, or if you think about that you didn't learn some of these topics, you will let me know, inshallah. But for my information, the information I have basically is that you have learned all these topics. So today, inshallah, today's lesson is about revision about basically the last test that you did in school, term 3 test or term 3 exam. So this exam, basically, I convert into Google Form. So when I explain to you, you're going to do it again. So I basically convert to Google Form. So you can see here electricity. So the first question is, Nikki tries to set up 4 electric circuits. So you can see here, these are the 4 electric circuits. These are about battery, bulb, and ammeter, so and a wire. In the diagram 1, the ammeter reading 0. What's wrong with this circuit? In the diagram 2, the ammeter reading 0 is still what's wrong with this circuit. And then in the third diagram, the ammeter reading 0 is still. Why is this not a complete circuit? So you need to understand still why is it not a complete circuit. If you think even like all the components are connected properly. Question D, in diagram 4, why is there a reading on the ammeter? Question 2, Cho uses a battery, a switch, and a bulb to make a series circuit. The diagram shows symbols for a battery, a bulb, and a switch. Connect the symbols to make a circuit. So question B, Cho closes a switch and a bulb lights. Then she connects the battery. Then she connects the battery the other way around. What happens to the bulb when Cho closes the switch again? It is brighter, it's a dimmer, it's the same brightness, it does not light up. A corridor has a switch at each end and 1 light bulb in the middle. The circuit diagram below shows how they are connected. So you have a circuit in here. So you can see here is the power supply, there's the bulb, there's the second switch, and that is the first switch. So in the diagram above, the switches are shown in position B and D, and bulb is on. So complete the table below to show whether the light bulb is on or off, right, on or off, basically. So switch the position of switch 1 and the position of switch 2. So is the light bulb is on or off? You feeling on or off? Question D, the circuit is changed so that there is a bulb at each end of the corridor. So they are connected as shown below. So you can see here there's a bulb X. That is basically, you can see that is bulb X, and that's bulb Y, and there's a power supply. In the diagram above, the switches are shown in the position B and C, which bulbs, if any, are on. The switches are arranged so both bulbs are on. Both bulb X breaks. Whether anything happened to bulb Y, what's gonna happen? Question number 3. The drawing shows a hair dryer. So you can see the hair dryer. So then after Ben draws a diagram blue to show the circuit of the hair dryer. So you can see this switch, this is the motor, this is the heater, this is the second switch, and that's the main supply or the main power. Which of the switches must be closed for the heater to work? Take the correct box. That's the first switch, or second switch, or switch 1 and 2, or neither switch 1 or 2. With this circuit, is it possible to have the heater on when the motor is switched off? Explain your answer. The motor and the heater are both on. The motor blows air through the hairdryer. If the motor breaks, what would happen to the temperature of the hairdryer? The motor and the heater are both on. Suddenly, the wire in the heater breaks. What effect, if any, will this have on the motor? Question 4. The back window of this car contains a heating element. The heating element is a part of an electrical circuit connecting to the battery of the car. So you can see the wires of the heating element. So it has two different circuits. So the question is, what's the name for these two circuits? So a wire gets broken at point X on the circuit A, so at point Y on the circuit B. So the question is, when the switch is closed, what does the broken wire affect the heating element, circuit A and circuit B? So in very cold weather, ice might form on the back window of the car. When the heating element is switched on, the ice will disappear and the surface of the window will become clear and dry. So fill the gap blue to show the energy transfer that takes place. So when the heater is switched on, the energy transfer from the wire to the ice, as the window becomes clear and dry, physical change takes place in the ice. Fill the gaps blue to show the physical change that takes place. This is the question number 5. Beta measured the current through each of two similar bulbs in a barrel circuit. So that's the first current ammeter 1, ammeter 2, and ammeter 3. So and through the 0.14, 0.16, and 0.15. Such as two reasons why the readings were different. And this one, he added by 2 extra light bulbs, and then it being 5. Then the question is to find the basically F4 with the 5th bulb in circuit. The current for ammeter 4, you need to find that. Question letter C. Beta left the circuit connected overnight. He used a data logger to measure the current as position A4. So using the axis blue, sketch how the current to the position A4 might change with time, indicate on the graph. So, and this is about basically calculations for the current, resistance, and voltage. The rest of the questions, inshallah, I will show you by Google Form. So you can see here. So these are the 9 physics questions. All these questions are the ones that I explained. So you can see, and this is basically the calculation bar for the voltage, resistance, and current. When you calculate in this bar, you must know the triangular formula. If you don't know the triangular formula, or if you don't remember, you can't calculate the voltage and the resistance and the current. So let's go to the next bar. So that's all about basically your physics test. That's what you're going to do. So that's all about what you're going to do, inshallah. So if you need any help or if something hard for you, you can, oh no, this is the part, okay, that I left, I forgot to tell you. So basically, Ali made a cut flap to fit into a door on the diagram above, right in the description bar to the direction of the force of the cat's head on the cut flap. So you need just to write like with the direction. So it's going to the magnet. So, and then here, this one, you need to level that magnet, and then you're writing here the answer. So friction at the bifid made that cut flap squid. What could Ali put on the bifid to make the friction less? And this is the question number 8. I'm talking about Luke investigated the heating of the water. He predicted that the rise in temperature would depend on the volume of water. The diagram shows the appearances he used it. So you can see here the appearances that he used it. The question is, and this is a table for his results is, did Luke's results support his prediction? Explain your answer. Luke stirred the water during the experiment. How did this make his results more reliable? So which of the following statements about the energy transfer to the beakers is correct? Is that the first one, second one, the third one? After a time, a tree beaker is cooled down to room temperature. What happens to the thermal energy in the beakers as it cooled down? So I hope you understood all these questions. If you need help, inshallah, you can text me from WhatsApp or Class Future. Then we can do from that, inshallah. You can so you can send me the question that's hard for you taking a picture by taking a picture. So inshallah, I hope you understood. See you the next lesson, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.